I'm just thinking that we need to talk about some things. Obviously, you're not here. It's just us here in the school today and this week. But I'm still thinking about you guys. Bell's still ringing. I don't hear you out in the halls. It's a little bit weird, but I just got to thinking, I'm sure that you all are hopefully at home relaxing a little bit this morning. I know it's kind of early. It's 8:24. So right now you'd be ready to get to your first hour of the day, but maybe you're just waking up. Maybe you're just relaxing, still sleeping. Maybe you barely got to sleep. I don't know. But I just, as your school counselor, wanted to let you know some things to just, help you out if you happen to be feeling any kind of anxiety. I know the world is kind of promoting that these days. It's kind of everywhere we turn, people are really nervous and things like that. So it's so normal, and it's so okay to feel that way. And I just want you guys to remember that with any feelings, it's not that they're good or bad. It's that some are more comfortable than others. That's it. And feelings are feelings. Remember, they're like birds that fly above us. Kind of, they come and they go. We just need to understand that it's okay to feel them. And so one thing that can help is just name what you're feeling. Name it and it gets tamed. So you name it and tame it. So yeah, I am a little bit nervous. Maybe say that if that's what you're feeling. Or, what, I'm kind of really bummed out. I'm kind of sad that I don't get to see my friends. That's okay too. However you feel, it's okay. And just remember that it's okay to admit it too. Okay, that's the main thing. Remember, guys, too, that there are some times when we can let those feelings of anxiety and worry kind of overwhelm us. And it's really easy to do nowadays. I mean, it happens to even us adults. We start reading the news or looking at, watching the news, and it's easy to get kind of worried over things that haven't even happened, that are really beyond our control. So just a reminder that there are some things that are in your control, and there are some things that are outside of your control. We have this little image. Remember, we've showed you guys some of this. That remember, whatever's inside of our control, that's what we can control. Those are things like our own actions, our own thoughts, things like that, our own opinions, what I do online, especially what you eat, your self-care. All those things are in your control. Things outside of your control are obviously other people's opinions, other people's actions, other people's thoughts, and what they say and what they do. Sure, we can have influence on those outside things, but ultimately, if you are focused on what you can control, you're going to be able to alleviate some of that worry about those things you can't control. And so right now, one of the things you can control is, washing your hands, hanging out, doing your homework, doing what the teachers have prepared for you to do, making choices with your time, choosing to react, or not react, but respond appropriately to those feelings you have. That's within your control. So many things, guys, that you can control right now, and once you realize that, that'll be a lot easier for you than just thinking about those things you can't control. And with those outside things, sometimes what we do is we just hope for the best for those. If you have, like we talk about our sources of strength a lot, one of the things that is in our sources wheel is spirituality. Maybe, like Sunday, the president said National Day of Prayer. Maybe you just pray for those things going on outside of your circle of control. Just pray and hope for the best for those things. And so another thing that we need to remember is our sources of strength. We have all these things that are going to help us through any tough times in our life. And if you've had to, like, these days, just thinking about, like, all the what ifs and all of that, again, it can make you feel like this is a tough time. So remember, we have our sources of strength, to help us through. You have your family's support. they're with you right now. Hopefully, if they are at work, you guys will get together at the end of the day. You'll get to talk about things and work things out, and hopefully, you still have your positive friends. It's kind of cool because you guys still get to stay connected online, and still get to, Snapchat each other, Instagram, all these things. You can still do all that, even though we're socially distanced, And your mentors, remember, guys, you have all of us here rooting for this thing to change. We're all here to help you. If you have a question on homework or anything like that, just reach out. Email us. We're available. Also, your mentors from your family, and in your neighborhood and in your church communities. Those are all mentors, basically trusted adults. And right now, more than ever, it's okay to talk to trusted adults. Even I'm talking to my trusted adults when I'm uneasy right now, my mentors, because, they help us. They remind us that, we've been through hard stuff before and we'll get through this. Healthy activities. This one I really want to make sure you guys are really following, because it's really easy sometimes when we have a lot of time to do those things that are not so healthy, to engage in behaviors and things that just don't help us. And actually, the way you can tell the difference is if what you're doing, if it has a long-term consequence that could get you in trouble, that could make you feel worse, that's probably not a healthy activity, right? So remember, guys, your sources of strength. Remember to choose those things that are healthy coping skills. If you've seen this sheet before, we've showed you, there's so many things you can do, even in home, even while we're kind of, just kind of not allowed to go many places maybe. There's still some great healthy activities out there that will help you de-stress and kind of just help you get through this week and weeks to come. So healthy activities, super important. Remember, guys, everything we do, we do it because it gives us something. It helps us feel something, okay? And so if we're doing things that short-term feel great, but long-term don't feel so great, can get us in trouble, that's not a healthy activity. A healthy activity will remind us that what we're doing now, it's the same consequence sticks, you know what I mean? So if we're doing something now that's healthy, it only helps us later on too. So it's not going to change. The consequence doesn't change. Doesn't feel good now and then later on make us feel bad. Healthy activities feel good now and they feel good later on too, and they keep us out of trouble. So remember, guys, especially while you're online, a little bit more maybe in these weeks off, just remember anything that you're putting online, remember to think before you speak or before you post or anything like that, or send a message. Just remember to only spread what is true, what is helpful, what is inspiring, and what is necessary and what is kind. I can't stress that enough, because it's so easy to focus on negative and to get people going in a negative direction. But just remember that you're still Bobcats. You still need to be respectful and responsible for your behavior and to be safe, to take care of each other. So remember, anytime you're online, just to be thinking before you post, before you say anything, before you send that message. Is this true? Is this helpful? Is it going to inspire this person or our world for a better place? And is it necessary? Is it kind? Okay? Don't ever forget that one. That's important in all of life. Remember, guys, with our sources of strength, we've got healthy activities, we've got generosity. Please help out your neighbors, help out your parents, everybody. It doesn't hurt to help right now, and what we do when we help is we help ourselves. Anytime you volunteer, anytime you give, you receive. So please be giving, even if it's just throwing out the garbage for your parents, even if it's reading a book to your little sister or brother, whatever. Give. Even if it's just donating a canned food item to your neighbor, some toilet paper, right? Whatever. Just give. And that takes the focus off ourselves and it puts it on other people, and making others happy makes us happy in turn. Again, spirituality doesn't have to just be faith. and religion or anything like that, but it's anything that lifts your spirits. Sometimes, we've told you guys this, our brains naturally scan for the negative, and so if we're scanning for the negative all the time, it's because that's the way we're wired. Our bodies want to survive, and so our brains are kind of always looking for danger, and so we kind of tune into the negative, the anxiety-provoking things, catch our attention more. We have to train our brains to look at the positive things, to really scan for the good going on. And so one way to help train your brain, remember, is to practice thankfulness. And maybe you can take the thankfulness challenge right now. We did it back in November around Thanksgiving, but it's a great idea to be thankful every day. And so, start the thankfulness challenge just within yourselves. Think of a different thing that you're thankful for every day. Maybe while we're on this break time from each other, just think of those things that you're thankful for, and that sure is a good way to increase your spirituality and gratitude. So thankfulness, super important to practice. Start just even once a day. If you don't want to write it down, you can put it in your notes, you can tweet it out, or put a DM about it. Just, I'm thankful for this today. Start scanning your brain for the positive, and you will feel a lot better. And so just remember that that's a source of strength. Of course, medical access is super important right now. If you feel any kind of sickness and things like that, just remember to talk to your trusted adult about it. Also, we're all about medical access right now. That's why we're taking these measures to stay healthy and to keep our community healthy. That's why we're home right now. Well, not me, but you guys are home right now because you're taking these steps to make sure our community stays safe from this thing spreading so much that it could make our hospitals too full. And so it's awesome what we're doing. We're all kind of helping each other to make sure we all have the medical access we need. Mental health, again, everything we're talking about goes back to mental health, guys. We just love you guys. We want you to be healthy coping. We want you to be coping healthily. In healthy ways. Limit your time online. If you can, shut off your phone for a little bit. Put it down, and push yourself to do that, the work. Maybe it requires like you being thankful or getting outside and kicking a ball. Healthy activities. All these sources of strength are going to help your mental health. Remember, mental health is about coping with the big three emotions: anxiety, depression, and anger. And so as you're doing these things, you'll notice that all those three emotions kind of get dealt with a little bit easier if you're constantly releasing the pressure. Remember, I've talked to you guys maybe like about getting a soda, like a Coke or a Dr. Pepper, something that fizzies, Mountain Dew, whatever, anything that's really fizzy. If you shake it up and just pop the top at any time, it's going to explode. And so that's basically our emotions. We get shaken up all the time. School does it, the news does it, our parents do it, our friends do it. We kind of just, life does that to us. We get shaken up. And so part of the thing to do is to work on releasing the pressure of that, of our, lives, kind of in slow, healthy ways. And so that's what Sources of Strength is about. If you guys can, journal. Talk to a trusted adult. Get out those feelings slowly in a comfortable way. Like we said, name it and tame it. And reach out to your mentors, your trusted adults, or even just writing in your notes or a journal page. Just write what's going on. Release that pressure, because you'll notice that it is getting shaken up a little bit, just because you're not able to do those things you like to do right now. You might not be able to hang out with your friends like you like. You might not have that feeling like, everything's okay. You might be struggling with that. And so our body knows, and even if we're not releasing the pressure, it'll hold that pressure, and then it might blow up in a different time, in a different way. So just make sure you're releasing the pressure slowly, practicing your sources of strength, journal, be thankful, hold on to your healthy coping, be careful how you're being online, just all those things, guys. I hope and I pray that you guys are practicing good healthy habits and sticking to your sources of strength. And remember, guys, with our brains, and remember, our thinking brain kind of soothes our emotional brain. So get to work on what the teachers have given you to do. Do your work, even if you don't feel like it, if it's kind of a rough time and you're just like, I'd rather be online, or you'd rather be watching video games or TV or Netflix. Try and work on just setting a time for yourself and being like, okay, I'm gonna get to do that once I do this. Okay, always be like, if I get this done, then I can do that. Reward yourself for doing that work. Say, I'm gonna work on this assignment, and then I'm gonna go ahead and play this game for 20 minutes, whatever, 30 minutes. You set yourself up to have that schedule, that routine, to get stuff done. Okay, it's going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you in the short run too, because when we're thinking, we're not worried so much about everything. Our thinking brain, again, soothes our emotional brain and helps us to kind of get things done. So do your work, keep up on your grades. Fourth quarter, we got this. Summer's coming, and this too shall pass. Remember, guys, if you get nervous or scared, Mr. Rogers was one of my heroes, and he had a little cartoon. My daughter loved that little cartoon called Daniel Tiger. And he used to say, if you're scared, close your eyes and think of something happy. So practice that. You can do that for a minute. Take those deep breaths, do those coping skills that help you to relax and get through our anxieties, okay, at this time. Long video, I'm sorry, but I just miss you guys, and I hope for the very best that you're making great choices during this break from us. Okay, remember your sources of strength. Bobcats, we've got them. Have a great day.